Hello, Dave. My name is Justin Vreeland. I'm a biologist with the Pennsylvania Game Commission. I'm calling in regards to
I want to give you an update on something that happened back in archery season. Actually, on the first day of archery season here, I had an incident here on my farm where I had a sick deer, and I called the Game Commission. I thought it was possibly CWD. There was a lot of response to that video, and overwhelmingly in the comments, everybody wanted to have an update, if there was an update. Well, we are in rifle season now here in Pennsylvania. I'm actually in the deer stand. I'm trying a new strategy. I'm talking loud, and I have a gun hanging up on the hook. That should be a surefire recipe. Totally unprepared for deer to come. They should show up. Otherwise, it has been very slow here, and thus the reason I'm taking the time to do this update. As I said, it was an update on a video I had posted at the beginning of our archery season, and I'll put a link up here somewhere above my head, a link to that video in question. In recap, what it was on the first day of our archery season, and I wasn't even hunting at the time, my son found a deer in with our livestock, in with our dairy cows actually. Deer was very sick, and I ended up calling the Game Commission to come and take a look at the deer. I obviously had concerns that it might be CWD, or obviously something was wrong with this deer. The Game Commission did respond, came to my farm, checked the deer out, and actually took samples for CWD. Overwhelmingly in the comments of that video, everybody was asking for update. What I was told at the Game Commission at the time, when they pull those samples, if it's negative, I will not hear anything at all. Obviously, if it's positive, they will get in touch with me. I had expressed concerns, I think, at that time, just with my livestock, and I make a living taking care of those livestock. I would like to know, possibly, if it's possible. Well, I indeed now did get an update. I actually got it a couple weeks ago here, but with deer season, it's been pretty crazy around here and busy. Some other things that I wanted to quickly address from that video is, like I said, there was a lot of response. Some in the comments were questioning why the deer had to be put down. I had stated in that video, and I continue to stand by, I'm not going to show footage that I actually got of that deer, but the deer was in very bad shape. It was extremely sick. It was trying to get up. It would flail over backwards. It couldn't stand. It was, like I said, it could not get up on its feet. As it lay there, its head would go in circles. It was rather hard to watch, and that's why I chose just to show those still images. Now, the still images I showed looked like a rather healthy deer. They're commingling with my cows. But that indeed was not the case whatsoever, and I don't think the Game Commission would have took the steps they did if there was any question that deer had a chance of survival. It was absolutely in bad shape. So for the update though, like I mentioned, I got a message actually from the Pennsylvania Game Commission biologist. Called me, left a message.
Had a note here that you wanted results. That deer was not detected for chronic wasting disease.
And stated that the test results did come back and it was negative for CWD. The deer in question did not have CWD. Now that still leaves a lot of unanswered questions. What exactly was wrong with the deer? And as to my knowledge, there was no further testing done. Just the samples they pulled were specifically for CWD testing. So I guess it will leave in question, and we may never know exactly what was wrong with the deer, but I was relieved to get that call from the Game Commission that it was negative for CWD. Like I said, with my livestock here, there's a lot of unknowns with that, and hopefully it's not transferable between other livestocks, other ruminants. So obviously I was relieved to get that news. It just gives an uneasy feeling as a farmer. I make my living taking care of these animals. I don't want anything to happen, and especially something like that introduced from wildlife. I was glad the Game Commission took the time to follow up and give me that phone call. I appreciate that, and I wanted to give you an update because I promised I would give an update if there was any, and that is the update. So I appreciate you watching and following along with my channel. There'll be more videos to come, and I'm going to get back to hunting because after all this talking, surely something's going to be curious enough just to come see what in the world is going on. I've been taking weeks now to be quiet and not spook anything. I threw it all to the wind here today and gave an update. So I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next video.